In this video, I'll explain the complete concept of bullish internal liquidity in the simplest way possible, using a real Forex chart on the 1-hour time frame. If you've ever wondered why price doesn't move straight to its target and instead creates small pullbacks before continuing higher, then this lesson is for you. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to identify bullish internal liquidity correctly and use it to read the market with more confidence. Let's start by understanding the market direction. As you can see, the market is creating higher highs and higher lows. Every time buyers push the price up, they manage to create a new higher high. Even after a pullback, the market doesn't break the previous higher low. Instead, buyers step in again and continue the move upward. This tells us that buyers are still in control, and the overall direction of the market remains bullish. Understanding the market direction is important because internal liquidity only makes sense when you first know which way the market is moving. First, let's mark these top highs and these bottom lows. If you're a beginner, you can think of the top highs like a resistance, because this is where the market stops moving higher for some time. In the same way, you can think of the bottom lows like a support, because this is where the market stops moving lower and starts moving up again. These two levels help us understand the overall range of this bullish move. Everything happening between these top highs and bottom lows is happening inside this range. For this lesson, you don't need to focus on every small high and low. Just focus on these main highs and lows, because they'll help you understand where internal liquidity forms in the next step. Now let's connect these highs and lows with smart money concepts. These top highs work like buy-side liquidity, because this is where buy stop orders are usually resting. In the same way, these bottom lows work like sell-side liquidity, because this is where sell stop orders are usually resting. You don't need to understand everything about buy-side liquidity and sell-side liquidity for this lesson. Today's focus is internal liquidity. Just remember one simple thing. The top highs are our external target on the upside, and the bottom lows are our external target on the downside. The space between these two levels is where internal liquidity forms. Now, the biggest question is, if the market already knows its target is the buy-side liquidity, then why doesn't it move there in one straight line? The reason is simple. The market doesn't usually move in a straight line. It moves step by step. Before continuing higher, the market often creates a small pullback inside the bullish move. These pullbacks are completely normal and don't always mean the trend is changing. Instead, they help the market build the next move. This is exactly where internal liquidity forms. Remember, internal liquidity doesn't form above the buy-side liquidity or below the sell-side liquidity. It forms inside the bullish move, between the main highs and lows we marked earlier. Once you understand this simple idea, identifying internal liquidity becomes much easier, because you'll know where to expect it instead of searching for it randomly. Let's mark the demand zone. This is the area where buyers became active and pushed the market higher. Instead of continuing lower, the market respected this zone and started moving upward again. That's why this demand zone is important. If price returns to this area in the future, we expect buyers to become active again. We'll use this zone later when looking for a buy entry. For now, just remember that this is where the bullish move began. Now let's understand how internal liquidity is formed. Watch the price carefully. First, the market moves lower. After that, it creates a small move upward, but buyers are not strong enough to continue the move. So the market starts moving lower again. This point, where the market starts moving lower after that small upward pullback, is called internal liquidity. Now let's mark it on the chart. This is our internal liquidity. It forms inside the bullish move, between the main highs and lows we marked earlier. That's why it's called internal liquidity. One important thing to remember is that this is not the final target of the market. the final target is still the buy-side liquidity at the top highs. Internal liquidity is simply an important area inside the move. Sometimes the market moves through it without any problem, and sometimes it reacts from this area before continuing higher. That's why identifying internal liquidity helps you understand the market's behavior more clearly. Now you know what internal liquidity is and where it forms. But here's the part most beginners don't understand. Even after taking the correct buy entry, many traders still lose confidence when price starts reacting around internal liquidity. So, before entering a trade, there's one important thing you need to understand. Let me show you. Now, price returns to our demand zone. As expected, buyers become active again and push the market higher. But instead of entering immediately when price touches the demand zone, we wait for bullish displacement. This strong move tells us that buyers are taking control again. Once we get that confirmation, we can look for a buy entry. But remember, taking the buy entry is only one part of the trade. If your target is the buy-side liquidity at the top highs, don't assume the market will move there in one straight line. Before reaching that final target, price may react from the internal liquidity we marked earlier. Sometimes the market respects this area and continues moving higher, but sometimes it starts losing momentum around internal liquidity. You may notice that the bullish candles become smaller, the market struggles to create new higher highs, or sellers start pushing the price down with stronger bearish candles. These are signs that price is reacting around internal liquidity. It doesn't always mean the bullish trend has ended, but it's something you should pay attention to instead of ignoring. If you want a dedicated chart breakdown explaining when price reverses from internal liquidity and how to identify those signs step by step, comment "reverse" and I'll make a complete beginner-friendly video on that topic. Now, let's talk about one common mistake many beginners make. After learning about internal liquidity, they start treating it like a buy entry area. As soon as price reaches internal liquidity, they enter a buy trade without waiting for any confirmation. But that's not how internal liquidity works. Internal liquidity is an area where price can react. Sometimes the market continues higher from there, and sometimes it moves lower before continuing the bullish trend. That's why you should never take a trade just because price reaches internal liquidity. Always wait for proper bullish displacement before entering a buy trade. This simple mistake can save you from many unnecessary losing trades. Now that you've understood how internal liquidity works with one example, let's look at another Forex chart. This chart follows the same bullish idea, but the market behavior is slightly different. Instead of creating just one internal liquidity, price creates more than one before continuing higher. Don't worry. We're not going to explain the whole chart again. Our focus is only on understanding how internal liquidity forms and behaves in this example. Before we continue, let me quickly explain this chart. I've already marked the bullish market direction, the top highs and bottom lows, the demand zone, and the break of structure. I don't want to explain all of these concepts again because today's lesson is only about internal liquidity. If you've watched from the beginning, you already know why these levels are important. In this example, we're only going to focus on one question. Where does internal liquidity form inside this bullish move? This chart is a great example because the market creates more than one internal liquidity before continuing higher. So let's focus only on those areas and understand why they formed. Earlier in the video, I explained that internal liquidity always forms inside the bullish move. This chart is a perfect example of that. Look at where the market is moving. It starts from the demand zone, continues creating higher highs and higher lows, and all of this happens between the top highs and the bottom lows we marked earlier. Now notice something important. Internal liquidity doesn't appear outside this range. It always forms inside this bullish move, while the market is making its way toward the buy-side liquidity. That's why, before marking internal liquidity, you should first identify the overall bullish move. Once you know where the move begins and where it's heading, finding internal liquidity becomes much easier because you'll know exactly where to look. Let's mark both internal liquidity levels. This is the first internal liquidity. After moving higher, the market created a small pullback before continuing its bullish move. Then, as the market continued higher again, it created another pullback. This becomes our second internal liquidity. Notice that both of these formed inside the bullish move, not above the top highs and not below the bottom lows. That's the most important thing to remember. The market can create one internal liquidity, two internal liquidity levels, or even more. There is no fixed number. It completely depends on how the market is moving. As long as these areas form inside the bullish move, they are considered internal liquidity. That's why you should always analyze the overall market structure instead of expecting the same number of internal liquidity levels on every chart. Price returns to the demand zone once again. Buyers become active, and after getting a clear bullish displacement, we have our confirmation to look for a buy entry. As the market moves higher, notice how it respects the internal liquidity levels instead of breaking the bullish direction. Finally, price continues its move and reaches the buy-side liquidity at the top highs, completing the bullish setup. I hope this video helped you understand bullish internal liquidity in a simple and practical way. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more beginner-friendly smart money concepts lessons. And if you want the bullish and bearish internal liquidity reversal concept explained with real chart examples, comment "reverse" below. I'll see you in the next video.